Hi guys, welcome back to another Once Upon a Time recap. This is going to be a recap for Season 4 Episode 16, which is called Best Laid Plans. What I've discovered, I've said this in the past few videos, is that I haven't been sure which episode number this is. So even though this is number 17 on Netflix, technically it's episode 16, whatever. It's called Best Laid Plans. So anyway, this episode was fantastic. In this episode, we found out what exactly happened between Snow White, Prince Charming and Maleficent back in the Enchanted Forest. We'd known from the previous episode that whatever it was that Snow and Charming did, it resulted in Maleficent losing her child, which is a biggie and is obviously something that you don't expect from our heroes because Snow and Charming have always been the ones who've kind of fought to do the right thing, and so for them to do something that could result in someone losing their baby is kind of intense. So back in the Enchanted Forest, Snow and Charming have found a unicorn which, if you touch its horn, gives you a glimpse into the future. So, you know, standard Once Upon a Time stuff. So they found this unicorn and they've touched the horn to figure out what is going to happen to Emma in the future. Is she going to be good or is she going to be evil? Because they've obviously been told that the child has the potential for both, and they see completely different paths for Emma. Snow is faced with a teenage Emma who is very angry and evil, and Charming is faced with baby Emma who is very sweet and lovely and perfect and everything seems fine. So they still don't know what the future holds for their daughter, and in a panic they go to visit the Sorcerer's Apprentice and ask him if there's anything that he can do to help them ensure that Emma is a good person. He tells them that the only way that they can ensure that is if they take the darkness from her and have it transported into another living vessel. So something like another baby. Snow and Charming are horrified by this and say we couldn't possibly do that to another baby. However, Snow's thought process goes to the fact that Maleficent, who is currently in dragon form, has laid an egg. In her mind, that doesn't really constitute a baby, it constitutes an evil dragon monster. So she doesn't really think that there's anything wrong with taking the evil that has the potential to come out in Emma and transporting that into this egg. They make their way to the cave that Maleficent is hiding in and they steal the egg. Maleficent transports herself back into human form and pleads with them not to do it, but they run from her and they take the egg back to the Sorcerer's Apprentice, who does his little spell and transports whatever evil it is from Emma into this egg. Snow and Charming have promised Maleficent that they will bring the egg back once they are done with it. However, what they haven't realised is that once this evil deed has been done, the egg gets thrown into a portal and transported off into another land. As that is happening, the eggshell cracks and a little baby's hand comes out, and Snow realises that it is not in fact an evil dragon that is in the egg, but a real baby. They are horrified and heartbroken as this egg is thrown through the portal into another land. While they feel that their child's safety has been ensured, Maleficent has lost her baby. So that was really intense. It's just an amazing twist because it's not the kind of thing that you would ever have expected our heroes to do, and it is one of these terrible, terrible mistakes that you really can't take back. Snow is faced with the reality that they're going to have to confess to Emma what happened. Meanwhile, in Storybrooke, while all that has happened in the Enchanted Forest, the constant transforming from wooden into human, from boy into adult man, is really taking its toll on August, and he's not feeling so good, so he's in a pretty bad way. There's a really cute Captain Swan moment where we see Killian and Emma sitting in the loft, and he says one of my favourite lines. He just sometimes has the best lines, and he asks her how the wooden man-child was, which I just loved. That just made the episode for me. And Emma kind of senses a bit of jealousy, and there's a really cute little moment between them where she reassures him that despite the fact that August is her friend, there is absolutely nothing going on, so it's all good. The Queens of Darkness and Rumple are still on the hunt for the page from the book with the door on it. Regina has taken a photo of the page on her phone and claims that she wasn't able to get it out of Emma's sight. They look at it, and despite the fact that it's just a photograph, Rumple instantly realises that the door in the image is the magical door that the author's trapped behind. He then demands that they get the real page, so Maleficent puts Storybrooke under a sleeping curse to give them the opportunity to go and look for the page. While Emma and Hook and everyone else is asleep, Charming, Snow and Henry are all immune because they've been under a sleeping curse before. Henry makes his way to the author's house, or the house that we suspect is the author's house, where Maleficent, Cruella and Rumple track him down. Regina, who's still undercover, demands that he gives them the page from the book, so he does, but what they initially don't realise is that he has given them a forgery made by Emma to try and trick them and give them a little bit more time. Rumple, of course, instantly realises that it's a forgery, realises that Regina is, as he suspected, not actually with them, and demands that they get the real page. Meanwhile, Henry has found a key in this house which fits the lock in the image. He says to Snow and Charming that they should open it. They take the page, promising to take care of it and send him on his merry way, but instead they consider burning the page to protect themselves from what would happen if the author got out of the book. Snow's conscience, however, catches up with her and she realises that they're kind of left with no option but to tell Emma the truth. There's been so many lies already in terms of what's happened with Maleficent that she doesn't want to lie to Emma anymore, so they sit her and Cillian down and tell her the truth. While we don't actually see her telling them, we see the aftermath of it and the absolute hurt and betrayal that Emma feels, that her parents have lied to her about this for so long and that they probably didn't really trust that she could make her own decisions to be good. She's horrified and runs out, followed by Cillian, who tells her that August is doing better, and there's just a nice little moment with them down at the pier where she's obviously upset and looking to him for comfort, and you know I love a cute Captain Swan moment. At the end of the episode, we see them using the key to open the door and let out the author, and much to Snow and Charming's complete shock, it turns out to be a peddler who they met on the roads to see the Sorcerer's Apprentice. While they're all standing in shock, he manages to make a break for it, and Emma goes chasing after him. So at the end of the episode, we see Emma out in the street looking for the author who's now managed to escape, and now that he's out, who knows what's going to happen next. So I've talked for far longer than I should have, but that was an excellent episode. I really loved the backstory with Snow and Charming and Maleficent because I wondered how they were going to tie that all together, and I feel that it worked really well. I feel like that's going to provide a really nice transition into Emma going dark, which I'm still dreading, by the way, but you know, it's once upon a time, you never know what's going to happen next. So let's keep our fingers crossed for some exciting episodes soon. Okay, I've got to go and get organised now, but I hope that you enjoyed that. If you liked that episode, let me know in the comments below. I don't really think there was anything else that I had left to say about it other than the fact that it was excellent. So I hope you've been having a great week, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye! The flashbacks open with Cillian on board the Jolly Roger with his crew, and they can hear this beautiful voice and they're being drawn towards it, and just at the last minute he realises that it's a mermaid loo.